Afternoon, all of you. And at the outset, let me wish you all in advance, all of you, for your ACA membership. And I saw so many questions are in the chat box, but don't worry, we will take at the end. So I am going to just take you some insights how to prepare and get ready with your VIVA presentation. So let me move into my presentation. So as all of you are aware that you need to prepare a presentation based on your training period. From your final level training period, you have to pick up a scenario. It should be a technical matter, of course, and do a presentation within 10 minutes time. You have to present in front of our three CA members. So before that, you have to do certain homework, and that's what I'm going to touch from here, my end. So basically, when you say a technical presentation, and it has to be from your final level, and you have to articulate how did you or like provide solutions and using your technical knowledge and overcome those issues and finally conclude this particular scenario. So that's what you have to bring into the presentation and present it. So main objective of our VIVA would be like authenticity of the training record, that book, and from the and also to mainly we are focusing on your presentation and communication skills, and also like how you articulate the particular technical content from your training period which you have encountered and present to the panel of judges. So once you apply your draft presentation to the CA, they would refer to the some reviewing panel members. So these are the criteria how we are going to review your draft presentation. First of all, so we have five criteria. So mainly first four. I will just take you through. Final one is the you have to there are a comprehensive guideline given in the CA Sri Lanka website how to prepare your presentation, and whatever the now Gayan explained to the all the scenarios are in the our guideline itself. So first we are checking whether your selection of the topic. So it doesn't mean you need to select accounting standard related matter. Either it can be accounting standard or audit and assurance, or maybe tax, or maybe corporate secretarial matters, company law, any areas which you have done during your final level, you have to pick up. And it has to be significant matter. So don't try to figure it out very like a simple matters. I would say it's anyway judgmental, but mostly very common and famous topics are when you come to this VIVA is like verification of inventory, or maybe like maybe recognition of revenue. Very common topics those are. And as you're aware now, almost you are unofficial chartered accountant. So this would be a final interview. So then you had to pick up a very solid case where you had done like great extent some work for that, and encounter during your final level. And then you also satisfy and you can have a good like results end of the VIVA presentation. And authenticity of training record book. So once you have taken, you have to inform from which area you have taken to the CA Sri Lanka also in the application. Then we will go through that and we will check with them. And then third one would be the technical and technical logic, because presentation has to be matched with your objective first of all, because we have seen sometimes the objectives, for example, say maybe ROU asset, maybe a recognition or something like that. But end of the day, the students are preparing something, it's not relevant to your objective. They are deviating from your core area. So that you have to be very carefully look into this aspect when you are doing this presentation itself. And also our core area would be how we are checking on your presentation organization. So that means like whether you have given adequate reference to your theoretical aspect. Uh, there's no requirement you need to, for example, if you are discussing about the IFRS 16 matter, you're not required to give a lengthy or 2-3 slides about the IFRS 16. So only you have to give minimum reference which is relevant to your particular finding or scenario. So that's what we're expecting from here. And also you had to give, okay, how did you arrive this? How did you find out this? Certain like procedures you have done, like a workflow, that kind of areas also you had to include in your presentation. And don't load too much content in the slides, like essay type. It has to be very short and sweet, and keep the essence of the presentation. And at the interview, you can elaborate in detailed manner within your 10 minutes time. Because we have seen students are writing lengthy paragraphs, each and everything in the slides itself and coming to the presentation itself. So that you have to be avoided. And this checking grammar and spellings are, it's up to you. So we are not going to check, but of course, as the reviewers, if we come across anything, we will guide you. But there are plenty of applications and the softwares where you can cross check your grammar and spellings. So you have to check those things and prepare this presentation itself. And finally, as I inform you, you can go through the comprehensive guideline we have given. It's updated during 2011, if I'm not mistaken. So you can go through that and get further information out of that. So there's no hard and fast rule you have to adhere to this flow, but we are giving this kind of suggestion and maybe support. Okay, you can prepare your presentation in this manner. There has to be a maximum of 7 slides, excluding your cover page and the last slide. Thank you. So within the 7 slide, you have to include all your details. So maybe you can have the content page if you want, and also introduction and objective of your presentation, and findings. And findings, of course, you have to quantify. And quantification also, no need to have the like maybe with decimal numbers and all. It has to be very simple numbers you can use just for maybe presentation purpose itself. And if it's related to maybe assurance, you can have your audit material level, etc. And procedures you have followed, work you have done, you can include. And reference to the technical background, maybe if accounting standard, auditing standard, or be corporate law, something like that, that you can give a reference to that, where you have encountered this issue and how did you rectify using those technical areas. And finally, you can have your recommendation and conclusion. The conclusion has to be what happened to your particular scenario, how did you resolve that, what is the final outcome. That has to be very clear, and uh, and you have to be very final conclusion has to be there, because certain students are coming to the presentations draft one without any conclusion, open-ended matters. Finally, you can have a thank you slide. So these are certain common observations we have observed during our reviews. So you can avoid these things. And one thing, as I told you, selecting very simple matters, and also some revealing the guy, and also touch on upon this matter, revealing client and company details, sensitive information. So you can use maybe ABC Limited or something like that, rather using the company logos or details. And you have to prepare and come to the presentation, because sometimes if we ask some questions, they can't remember. So because they are not well prepared, so they say sometimes they can't remember, or sometimes they have not done those things, or copying from someone else and doing this presentation. Those things you have to avoid. And if you are now, since as I ask you to include quantify your matters, so you have to be careful with the calculations errors as well. So as I told you, don't use decimal numbers, maybe millions, 10 million, 15 million, something like that you can use. And if you are using subtraction or multiplication, you have to be careful with the totals and correctness of those. And grammar and spelling errors that you have to use. And most of the time anyway, this would be a already completed scenario. So then you have to use past tense, because we have seen students are bringing using the present tense when you are doing the presentation. So that you have to avoid. And too much of information in the slides, that you have to avoid. And don't use hyperlinks and Excel sheets. So those kind of details are not required here. So make it very short and sweet and very simple manner. So make it very serious, but don't make your complicate your scenario and the presentations. And sometimes we're using very tiny fonts which are not visible, because you have to present in the project itself. So then it won't be visible if you're using very small fonts. And selection of background colors, there are plenty of very professional templates are available in the website. So use one of them and try to make it glamour and present yourself. and certain instances we have seen students are taking copying from others and coming to the presentation itself, because we have plenty of experience in this. So don't do this. If you get to know you have taken and copied from someone else, it will be another disaster. So as a professionals, you have to avoid those things. If you have any issues, if you are unable to find, or if you are finding any difficulties, so I can share my contact details. So with regard to only this presentation matter, please call me during office time. I'm readily available to help any students in this regard. So after this session, we have a Q&A. So at the Q&A, you can raise any questions if you have in relation to the preparation of these presentations. Thank you very much.